Hi friends, and welcome to the Hummingbird Room. Before we begin, I want to invite you to maybe light a candle, grab a journal if you have one, or just a piece of paper and a pen, and allow yourself to be present by limiting distractions, maybe turning your cell phone notifications off for just the next few moments. So today I want to talk about something that grief teaches us. And it teaches us this over and over and over again, no matter how much we've lost. But when we lose someone we love, we often inherit more than memories. We inherit questions, regrets, stories, responsibilities that we thought were ours. And some of those things do belong to us, and some of them don't. So today I want to explore the difference. There are things that we carry because they matter. And there are things that we carry because we simply think we have to. When someone we love dies, or when we experience another significant loss, the loss of a pregnancy, the loss of a job, the loss of what we knew as normal, we don't just carry that loss itself. We often carry a whole collection of thoughts and questions that come along with that. Thoughts like, I should have called more. I should have visited more often. I should have said the thing I never got the chance to say. I should have known. I should have done more. And then there are the questions, why did this happen? Why them? Why now? Why couldn't things have been different? Or perhaps the most common phrase of all is, if only. If only I had. If only they had. If only things had happened differently. And here's what I want you to know. These thoughts are incredibly human. We all have them. I have them. They are normal. Our minds don't like unfinished stories. They don't like uncertainty. They don't like loss. So often after a loss, our mind goes searching. It goes searching for answers, searching for a reason, searching for someone to blame, searching for a way to make sense of something that might never fully make sense. Because if we can find the answer, our brain thinks, maybe it won't hurt as much. If we can solve it, maybe we can change it. But grief isn't a problem to be solved. It's an experience to be lived. And sometimes the suffering we feel isn't only from the loss itself, it's from the ongoing argument we're having with reality. It's that part of us that's saying, this shouldn't have happened. It should have been different. This isn't fair. And you know what? Sometimes it wasn't fair. Sometimes there is no explanation that feels big enough. Sometimes there is no answer that brings that peace that we're looking for. Acceptance is not saying that it was okay. Acceptance is not saying that we approve of what happened. Acceptance is not giving up. It simply means we stop arguing with what already is. We stop spending all of our energy wishing the past had unfolded a different way. And instead, we gently begin meeting reality as it is. Not because we like it, not because we wanted it, but because, unfortunately, it is here. And from that place, something surprising can happen. We create space. We create space to remember without replaying every single regret. We create space to love without carrying every burden. We create space to honor what mattered without carrying the responsibility of everything that happened. Because some things, they belong to love, the memories, the lessons, the connection. And some things belong to guilt, fear, and the illusion that we had more control than we really did. So today, I invite you to become curious. What are you carrying because it reflects your love? And what are you carrying because your mind believes that carrying it will somehow change the past? One, it deserves to be held close, and the other, maybe it's ready to be set down. Now that we have talked about how we carry grief, we are going to get into our bodies a little bit, because grief isn't only something that we think about, it is something that we carry. So as we move today, I just invite you to simply notice what you're holding: tension, heaviness, emotion, or perhaps even a little bit of space. There is nothing to fix and nowhere to get to. Just an invitation to soften, to breathe, and make room for what's there. So I invite you to stand with me, and we will get ready to move that grief through our bodies. So come on up to stand if you are sitting, and you can always do this in a chair. But today I'm going to invite those of us who can stand to stand and move. Like I said, we carry grief in our bodies, and today we're just going to work through it a little bit and maybe work it out of our body. One thing that I am going to invite us to do is to check in. So I invite you to stand with both feet on the ground. And I invite you that if you have shoes on, to feel your feet in those shoes and feel connected to the earth. And I invite you to maybe close your eyes if that feels comfortable, and maybe bring both hands to your heart. Just checking in here for a moment to see how you are showing up. And anything is welcome. Heavy, spacious, and remember, nothing to fix, nothing to solve. Just notice. And I invite you now to bring those hands down by your side and maybe bring those shoulders up, back, and around a few times. Just waking up the body. And then bring them up, forward, and down. Now I invite you to just shake out your hands and start to move your body a little bit. Maybe side to side or back and forth. And then we're just going to start to do a little bit of a rotation here. And maybe you feel your hands coming on to your body, and that just wakes us up. That just creates an aliveness in our bodies that says we are here. We are alive. And now I invite you to just shake that out again. Just shake. Shake your arms, shake your legs, just moving those bodies, moving that grief through, not to get rid of it, but just to move it around a little bit. Now from this place, I invite you to come back into some stillness. And I invite you just to twist to one side and twist to the other. Just taking these small twists now, rotating that spine. And then we're just going to stretch, reaching up and stretching, reaching up to the other side and stretching, coming back down. We'll do that again. Then we'll reach our hands up and take up space. And we'll fold down, maybe halfway, maybe you touch your toes. And we'll roll back up again. Reaching those arms up and folding down. And then rolling up like a wave. One more time, reaching up and coming down. And then rolling back up. And if you are ready, I invite you to join me for Breath of Joy. And Breath of Joy just invites some energy in our bodies, and it tells our brain that it's okay. Joy is welcome here. And if you're not ready for joy, you can just take some breaths in and out with your hands on your heart. But I'm going to lead us through that breath of joy. We will breathe in and reach our hands up. We'll reach them out. We'll reach them up. And then we'll exhale a big sigh out. So we'll inhale, 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 exhale. Try it with me. Inhale, 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 exhale. One more time. Let's do that again. One more time. A big inhale. Let it go. And come back up. Bring that hand to the heart again. Just some small movements to wake up the body, to let your mind know that you are okay. I invite you now to check in. How are you feeling? It doesn't have to be A-okay. It doesn't have to be any different. Just a notice. And maybe you say, I accept whatever is here. I accept the sadness. I accept the grief. I accept it. I can carry love, but I don't have to carry the other things. The shame, the regret, the what ifs, the should haves, the could haves. Maybe it's time to set those down. And if you're not ready, that's okay too, friends. So now that we moved our bodies a little bit, we will move into some reflection. Now that we've moved our bodies, we will go into the reflection portion of the practice. So I invite you to grab that piece of paper and that pen, your journal, or if writing is not your thing, just sitting reflectively and answering these questions. You can pause the video and take as much time as you need, but I will go through these rather quickly. I won't give time right now, but just pause the video and take as much time as you need. So I invite you to write, to reflect with curiosity rather than judgment. There is no right answer here. Just simply notice what rises to the surface as you consider what you've been carrying and what you are ready to set down. So the first question is, what am I carrying that belongs to love? That can be those memories, the joy that you felt, the pain, that's love. The next question is, what am I carrying that belongs to guilt, fear, and resistance? Thinking about those what if questions, those should haves, those could haves. wanting to change the past. What is it that you're ready to set down because of it coming from that place of guilt, from that place of shame, from that place of fear? Not that it is wrong or you are wrong, but what is it that you don't want to carry any longer? And then the last question is, what would it feel like to set one of those things down just for today? Just for today. What would it feel like? So take the time that you need to answer the questions, and we will move into the visualization part of the practice. So today we've explored the difference between carrying what belongs to love and carrying what belongs to guilt and fear and resistance. So let's take a few moments to imagine what it might feel like to set some of that weight down. So I invite you to allow yourself to get comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, allow your back to rest against the chair, your feet to find the floor. If you're in your bed, allow whatever you are on to support you. And let's take a deep breath in through our nose and a long exhale out. We'll do that again, breathing in and out. And one more deep breath in and a long exhale out. And feel yourself being supported as we go through this reflection, this visualization of setting it down.
Allow your body to settle, and if it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes. Imagine yourself sitting beside a peaceful river. The air is soft, the water moves steadily without rushing. You are safe here. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to figure out. Simply notice the river flowing before you. As you sit beside the water, imagine that in your hands you are holding everything you've been carrying: the grief, the sadness, the questions, the regrets, the things you wish had been different, the things you wish you could have changed. Notice the weight of it, not to judge it, not to make it wrong, just to acknowledge it. You have carried these things for a reason. Now imagine a leaf floating gently toward you on the surface of the water. Pick up the leaf and place one thing you've been carrying onto it. Perhaps it's regret. Perhaps it's a question with no answer. Perhaps it's an if only. Place it on the leaf. Notice that you don't have to force it away. You don't have to throw it. Simply place it there. And when you're ready, allow the river to carry it downstream. Watch it drift away. Not because it didn't matter, not because it wasn't real, but because you no longer need to carry it every moment of every day. Another leaf arrives. This time, place on it something you've been blaming yourself for: a moment, a decision, a conversation, a burden you've carried for far too long. Place it gently on the leaf and allow the water to carry it away. Notice the space that begins to open, the softening, the lightness. Now imagine another leaf floating towards you. This one is different. On this leaf, place something that belongs to love: a memory, a lesson, a moment shared, a laugh, a smile, a piece of the person you carry with you. Notice that this leaf doesn't have to drift away. Instead, it settles gently beside you on the riverbank. Because this is not something you need to release. This is something you get to keep. Love remains. The connection remains. You are not letting go of the person. You are only releasing what was never yours to carry. Spend a few moments here beside the river. watching the water move, feeling the difference between what can be released and what can remain. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. As we end our time here together, I invite you to notice. Notice what you're feeling and honor whatever surfaced for you here today. There's no right or wrong or good or bad, just a noticing. After losing my parents, both of them at different times, I carried things because they were expressions of love. But I also carried things because my mind believed that carrying them, holding on to them would somehow change the past. And it took me a long time to realize that those are not the same things. Maybe healing is not forgetting. I know that it's not forgetting, but maybe healing is learning to carry love without carrying everything else too. So as we close and you go on your way tonight, I just want to leave you with this blessing. May you keep what served you. May you release what doesn't. May you carry forward the love, and may you trust that setting down the burden does not mean letting go of the person who mattered. Thank you so much for being here today to spend time with me for the Hummingbird Room. The light in me honors the light in you, and may you find peace on your journey.